Microsoft PowerPoint lessons 4 through 6. With pictures, we know we can insert from clip art. If we go inside our insert tab, which we're already at, in our illustrations group, we have our clip art icon here. Pictures preloaded from Windows. We can also insert our own picture saved to our desktop, this icon right next to the clip art. Also, if you are in a PowerPoint, I'm using my All About Me project as an example. If I say start a next slide, and let's change this layout very quickly to title and content, you get icons here. And I could use these icons to insert pictures from a file or use this clipboard icon to insert a picture from clipboard. So different ways to insert pictures. When you do insert a picture, and I will go with the one here. When you select a picture, you get what's called corner handles. We have 4 here in which we can use to drag, to make larger, smaller, etc. And we also have this green button here in which you see our cursor becomes kind of like a circle, and we can rotate our picture however we want, depending on whatever style you want. If I want to tilt it a little bit here, I can do that as well. But we know with pictures, what comes up is in our picture tools, we get a format tab. And in that tab, we have some different options. In the adjust group here, we can change the brightness, we can change the contrast, we can also recolor the picture if we want. So I click that drop down, kind of give us built-in filters, kind of like Instagram. Here's our contrast and brightness. So that is in the adjust group. In our picture styles group, there are tons of interesting styles that we can apply to the picture. You can see as it's changing as I go across. If I hit the more button, there are more different styles to choose from. You also have border options and picture effects. If I want to add a 3D or glow effect, as you can see, I can have different colored glows. I can do that all here. And in the size group, we did this in class, I can crop my picture. I can also use the height and the width and change those settings. In the arrange group, I could send forward or send back. So if I wanted to, say, pair this with my GIF, then I can send to back so it's behind. Or if I want to bring to front, I can bring it on front so it's on top of any pictures, GIFs, or text. So depending how you want to format your picture. There's also, with some groups, an icon at the bottom right, in which brings out the dialog boxes. Here you have more options than what you just see on your ribbon. So for example, with the size dialog box, I have my rotation, okay, how I can scale, different position tools, and etc. So if there's something on the ribbon that you don't see, best bet is to pull out the dialog box, and you're most likely going to find what you are looking for when doing the exercises, or if you're looking for more variations such as line colors here in our picture styles dialog box, line color, and different types such as gradient, etc. Also, just similar to Word, there's find and replace. That is in our home tab. And in our editing group, there's our find and replace, in which you can find and look for a word. So if I was looking for the word future, I can find, and it brings it to where I'm looking for. You can also replace, really good when we're in Word. If I wanted to replace future with, say, next, I can find and then replace. And you can see future was replaced to the word next. Kind of make your life a little bit easier when trying to replace text. Also, when selecting pictures, you get the format tab. Same thing when you select text. And right now I have my placeholder selected. and I get a Drawing Tools Format tab for that as well. Similarly, arrange in size group with different word art styles, with text effects, text outlines. Okay. I can click and drag placeholders however I feel, if I want to move this up a little bit because of my pictures. Right. And you can see when I do not have it selected, it's a dotted line. When I have it selected, it becomes a full solid line. So then whatever I want to change, if I wanted to change the color to a orange color, it will change whatever inside that placeholder to that color. And also with text boxes, let's go to a different slide. Instead of clicking and dragging text, okay, just a hint is you can double click text, and if you add another click to that, you can select the entire bullet of text. So instead of clicking and dragging, double clicking and additional clicking, you can select the entire amount of text. Also, the features in our Home tab with text, in our font group, we have text shadowing. So if I want to add a shadow behind some text, there's also character spacing, which is adjusting the spacing between text characters. So I can make it very loose and you can see that themselves change. And there's also the change case icon, where I can make it sentence case, lowercase, all uppercase, tile case, etc. So instead of using caps lock every single time, you can just change the case. I can also use what's called Format Painter. So I'm going to change this back to black just for this example. Let's say I like this color orange, and I want this last bullet where it says my best friend, my brother, to be that orange. Format Painter, which is located in our Home tab and Clipboard group, I click and drag, or double click, as I said before, select Format Painter. What I have copied now is the format of whatever I selected. And whenever I click and drag and let go, it will change that text to whatever I copied using the Format Painter. I click and drag. You can see I have the icon of the paintbrush, and when I let go, it'll turn into that orange. It would also turn into any font size, any other additionals I have to that text. So that's actually a tool I use a lot when I like something to one part of text. Very quick and easy to change it to another group of text. Of course, if you ever mess up, there's no need to worry. We have in our quick access toolbar, we have our undo. So if you did something you did not like this part here, I can just undo. Of course, we have our redo button. If I want to reapply something that I just did, you know, I kind of like that orange, so I would redo that. So different options there as well. And if there's any formatting that you don't like in the Home tab slides group, okay, we can reset. And now I'll reset any formatting, size, etc. So if I like that orange, I can just reset. It's all back to its normal text that comes with the theme. And lastly, a few other things, just with text. I can, in our Home tab, align text, and this is in our paragraph group, horizontally, left, centered, right, or justified. And I can also set up columns if I would like to do that. That's more useful when we start Word. If I open up the paragraph group, its dialog box, I have indentation and spacing. If I want to change the spacing before and after bullets, and if I want to indent it further right, and different types of indents from hanging to the first line. There's a paragraph spacing between paragraphs and not the sentences themselves, such as single and double line. So that's more advanced lessons of PowerPoint, and we'll work on them in class.